All right, people, I've had a question about lesson 4, number 3. And the main question here is, how are we supposed to find the equivalent vector when we're not given any values, no numbers, no pictures to work with? What we need to remember with this question, and all it's simply doing, is testing, do we know head-to-tail addition? Head-to-tail addition. All right, so we're just playing a game here, and guess what? You can draw your own picture since they don't provide one. So for number A there, vector PT, I'm going to say this is my vector PT. All right, because they didn't give me a picture, I can make the arbitrary direction here. Plus TS, well, guess what? We need to start my new vector at T. So I'm going to start at T, and I'm going to go over to S, which I'm going to say is right there, plus SQ. Again, my new vector has to start at S. So I'm going to say SQ goes over here. And lo and behold, there's what my picture looks like. And I mean, it's arbitrary. It doesn't really matter what your picture looks like, because no matter how you draw it, your answer or your resultant will be where you started to where you finished. So that's your resultant vector right there. So that means that PT plus TS plus SQ is simply the vector PQ. Now some people are going to be saying, oh, I can just take the first letter and add it to the last letter. Okay, that's maybe true sometimes, but just be careful, because there are sneaky teachers out there like myself that'll test and make sure that you know what you're doing. So let's look at B, and I'll leave C and D for you to try on your own. But when you look at C and part B here, you're going to notice that they've played, I'll call it a sneaky game. If I was to draw my vector AC, the first one, there's A, there's C. All of a sudden, I get to my next one, and I see that, hey, I can't draw GE because I don't have G anywhere on my vector yet. So what's happened is they've shuffled the order on you. So you do have to think a little bit here. It's not just simply picking the first and last letter. So I'm going to rearrange my vectors here. So I have AC. The next vector I need has to start with C, and if I take the last one, there's my C. So I'm going to shuffle it. So commutative law says that, you know what, you're adding three things together. The order doesn't matter in which you add them. 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, they both give you 5, so you can move them around. So now I can draw CE. Oops, E is not a vector, it's a point at this point. There we go. Now I know my next vector has to start with an E. Here's the challenge. This is not an E, so here's a vector trick. We can switch the order. I can make this EG, which means I'm going to use the negative of the vector. So it was subtracting. It now becomes addition because I'm taking the negative of that vector, E to G. And now you can see a little bit clearer that you go from where you started to where you finished. And my answer here will be the vector AG. Do you need the diagram? No, I don't require the diagram. If you can do the rearranging, if you can do this step, but you do need to show me this for full marks, okay? You need to show me the rearrangement to show me that you understand the question.